Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
John and Heidi.
Here's John and Heidi.
Today is a special day, Heidi. Do you know what today is?
What is today, John?
I thought you'd never ask, Heidi. It is, what is today? Oh, yeah, it's Wednesday, the 7th day of August. I had the wrong screen up. I'm like, oh, that's not even close. It's Purple Heart Day, National Lighthouse Day, Aged Care Employee Day, Beach Party Day, National Sea Serpent Day. Sea Serpent Day, ooh. How do you celebrate that? National Raspberries and Cream Day. That sounds delicious. And Professional Speakers Day. Did you know that we are professional speakers?
You would never know by listening.
And I've actually been paid to get up in front of a group of people and speak before. One of my favorites was when I got there and I found out 2 minutes, not even, a minute into the event, I found out that I didn't even know who I was talking to or what I was talking about. And I still made it somehow. That was crazy. All right. We also have a guest today. Kingston, Rumi Southwick. Presumed Innocent is the name of the program. We're going to chat with him all about that coming up.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Kids cutting screen time to just 3 hours a week could result in significant improvements to their mental health and behavior, and it can happen as quickly as like the first 2 weeks, according to a new study.
Wow.
University of Southern Denmark had 89 families with 181 children between 4 and 17 years of age. After just 14 days, so 2 weeks of reduced screen time, researchers found these children experienced a decrease in behavioral difficulties, the equivalents to moving from the borderline category to the normal category. It suggests that even a brief period of reduced screen time can have a measurable benefit for a child's mental health. Researchers point out that the 3-hour limit applies specifically to leisure screen time. It does not include screen time for schoolwork or homework or whatnot. So, well, that's kind of good to know.
That is good to know.
There are times where we're working on a project and I'll set my phone down and I kind of walk away and I'll forget about it for like hours. And it is very relaxing. And then I get on my phone. I'm like, oh, wow, look at all these messages I have to return. That's the tough part for me. Surveys and studies and such brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com.
That's BetterCreditCards.com.
Did you know? Brought to you by Genesis Gold, IRA.com. Heidi, did you know the famous dino, the T-Rex, might have been way bigger than scientists originally thought?
I did not.
The iconic predator that roamed North America, according to this, 66 to 68 million years ago. That's what they think anyway. They say now they think that it could have weighed a whole lot more. The biggest T-Rex they've ever found was a T-Rex named Scotty. They found that in his ID apparently. Estimated to have weighed about 8,900 kilograms or 19,555 pounds. Now they go, well, we think that they could have been up to 33,000 pounds, like 70% bigger than the one that they thought was the biggest. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of guessing involved in this science.
I think there's a whole lot of guessing involved.
We don't know everything. I don't think they do either. But now we know this.
John and Heidi.
Now, big screen, little screen, brought to you by radiosavings.com. I have not done this in a while. I probably should have done this last week. I got this last week. Recent movie openings is what I'm calling it, because it said movies that opened this weekend, but it was last weekend.
Okay.
So Harold and the Purple Crayon.
I've not heard of that.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to talk about this. It says inside of his book of adventures, Harold can make anything come to life simply by drawing it. And it looks really cute, actually. Another one is called The Firing Squad. And this is based on a true story of 3 Christian prisoners who faced execution in a third world country.
Yikes.
And how their joy in Christ resulted in a stunning conclusion. Cuba Gooding Jr. is in that. I was actually trying to do an interview with him about this movie. and it fell through. Kevin Sorbo's in that as well. And then Trap is another one here. Mystery thriller. Father-daughter attend a pop concert where they realize they're in the center of a dark and sinister event. So anyway, those are in theaters right now. You can see all of the details in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now your scoop of the day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com. A company is selling an all-in-one combination phone, fitness tracker, and vape, of all things. Because, if you're doing fitness tracking and vaping, those two things don't typically go hand in hand.
Right.
The Swipe vape is designed to keep you connected and entertained while providing a premium vaping experience, according to the company. The Swipe, SWYPE, phone can connect to several apps such as Facebook and X and WhatsApp. Users have the ability to receive text messages and notifications on the screen by connecting to an existing phone via Bluetooth. So this is not really a phone. It connects to a phone. Can be used to play video games, though, and can be personalized with different wallpapers. One thing Swipe can't do is make phone calls. To connect to the device, users need to download an app on their regular phone. It's somewhere around $20 for the interactive device. Comes pre-filled with some nicotine flavors and also has different levels of strength for those. And it's disposable. After like 30,000 puffs, you just throw it away, according to this thing.
Wow.
Does that seem like a weird invention?
That's incredibly bizarre.
That is very bizarre. That was going to be my weird news, but I'm like, we'll put it here. Although we often hear that exercising before bed is a bad idea because it's said to affect your ability to drift off quickly, researchers are saying that doesn't mean you should just meld into the sofa and binge watch TV for a few hours, fearing that the slightest movement might ruin your shut-eye. In fact, the opposite is true. They see getting up for short bursts of light activity, like maybe during a commercial break, can actually help you sleep better. Researchers at New Zealand's University of Otago found that breaking up prolonged periods of sitting in the evening with brief sessions of simple exercises extend test participants' sleep time by about a half an hour. So they're saying that it's not a bad thing to get a little bit of exercise before bed. Scoop of the Day comes your way, courtesy of bettercreditcards.com.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis? By allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover, you can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show. So excited to visit with Kingston Rumi Southwick, and we're going to talk about presumed innocence. And first of all, Kingston, thanks for joining us. It's nice to finally get a chance to chat.
Yes, thank you for having me, man.
And this program is number one on Apple TV, so that's really good. That you can't get much better than number one, can you?
No.
And in this program, you're playing the son of Jake Gyllenhaal. What was it like playing with, working with him? He seems like a pretty fun dude.
Oh, he's just the sweetest guy. He's a teddy bear. I mean, I remember the first day on set that I worked with him, or that I was on set with him. He was so shy, and I shook his hand and was kind of shy. And then over the time that we spent together, he would open up and was just the sweetest guy. And I text him all the time, and he texts me and checks up, and just such a good guy, but then also such an incredible actor and such an easy actor to work with, Like being able to do scenes with him and play off of him was really easy because he was always so into character. So worked so hard that made it my job easier to work with him and to do scenes with him and to improv with him and stuff. So he was just a dream first person to work with. So talented. I mean, everybody was,
Absolutely. Now, we know from watching that you're an amazing actor, but I'm reading here that you're also a very accomplished baseball player, like even winning some league championships, and a musician. Like, you've got all of these talents. Holy cow, you're a talented dude.
Oh, thank you, man. Well, yeah, I love baseball. Like that was my life before acting and everything, I was at a school that the baseball team at the school was D1. You know, like we were all everybody was, and that was my life. I loved it. I went through boot camp training for it, and the music, I mean, has been my whole life. When I was a kid, I did classical piano. Like, I took lessons and stuff for 2 to 3 years. And then afterwards, I think in COVID, we had a guitar in the house, and I picked it up. I was like, maybe this will get me a girlfriend, you know? I don't know. So I picked it up, and I taught myself. And so I taught myself for about a year, and then I took lessons for a year and been playing for 3 years and stuff. So music is, I love music because it's another way of expressing myself other than acting and all that. So I love music. I've always loved music, and baseball that's my sport. You know, it's been my sport since I was 2. So I have lots of love for baseball.
Well, and that's the thing that's really cool, because I'm reading here that you've been a competitive baseball player since you were 5. You've been a musician kind of your whole life, but you started in movies when you were just 4. So you've done more at the age that you are right now than most people will do in their entire lifetime.
I love that. What I love about my parents is that anything that I did, they supported it. They just wanted me to do my absolute best in it, and they pushed me to do my best. And so, if that was baseball, if that was music, if that was acting, and I'm definitely a part of nepotism. Like I'm definitely a nepo baby. My mom's a writer and a producer and stuff. And so the first time I was on a film was one of her films or one of her friends' films, and I got to do a little fun part and stuff. But being an actor now, I had grown up loving it and wanting to do it, and doing it through school and doing drama and advanced drama and cinematography and stuff. So it just was, acting was a very big, prominent part of my upbringing, and being able to cultivate that into a career now is, I didn't know that I could do that, and I'm so grateful, you know.
Well, you're a talented young man and very impressive. All of the different things, in addition to acting, all of these other opportunities that you could pursue if you chose to do so. But I'm glad you're doing what you're doing, and I think other people are as well. The show Presumed Innocent, currently #1 on Apple TV, so congrats on all the success you're having.
Heck yeah. Thank you so much.
And again, I'm going to throw a link to make it easy to find, and we appreciate Kingston. We appreciate you taking the time to chat today.
Thank you so much for having me, man. This is really fun.
Absolutely. Again, the show, Presumed Innocent, it is #1 on Apple TV. I've got a link to the trailer, all the information in the show notes for today at johnandheidishow.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. Recently, Charlie started wearing a bracelet from VitaTech Healing.
I'm an avid golfer, and I was going to give it up this year. I just deteriorated that much. Now I'm back to golfing, enjoying it, having a good time. I just can't stress enough how good it is.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how VitaTech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
You'd have to eat 5 kilograms or 11 pounds of potatoes to get 0.5 kilograms or 1 pound of weight. So you'd have to eat a lot of potatoes
so you could
to
eat
gain
a
a
lot
pound.
of potatoes.
Yeah.
That's nice. That's good to know.
Yeah.
It's my
Fun fact
favorite
for you,
food.
Heidi. I
What's
know
that,
it is.
John?
Kissing someone for 1 minute burns about 2 calories. Get over here, Heidi. Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
A square piece of dry paper cannot be folded in half more than 7 times.
Okay.
Yeah, I've tried this because I was like, there's got to be a way. How about this one? Fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
In China, North American football is known as olive ball. So in China, they don't refer to it as football.
Oh.
They call it, and they don't call it American football. They call it olive ball.
Okay.
And our final fun fact for you, Heidi.
What's that, John?
The average person spends 60% of their conversation talking about what?
Weather.
No, themselves.
Oh.
Yeah. I hardly ever talk about myself. Oh, wait, what? I do?
That's
Okay.
what you know. Of course, that's what you talk
the
about.
Only thing I know. Several fun facts for you. Now you know. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
If you want a better credit card, it can be easy and not so hard. BetterCreditCards.com. Earn more points and get more perks. Get what you're looking for in a card that works. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself a little credit. BetterCreditCards.com. Give yourself
That's bettercreditcards.com.
Time now for the Mint Mobile question of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com. Question for you, Heidi. 26% of men have cried over this. What is it? I think this
A
is
heating and cooling commercial.
No, that's just me. It's just 1%. 26% of men have cried over a wedding. Here's my question. Was it their wedding?
Oh, you cry at weddings.
Yeah, but I'm not normal.
All the time.
I wonder if it's usually they're crying because their best friend got married. Oh, I don't get to hang out with him no more. Mint Mobile question of the day comes your way, courtesy of mintervention.com.
Charlie has Parkinson's. He started wearing a bracelet from Vitatech Healing, and he's noticed a difference even while sleeping.
Once I got in bed, I couldn't roll over. I couldn't move. I was just whatever position I was in, just a chore to get out of bed. And now everything is so much better.
Click on radiosavings.com to hear more of Charlie's story and find out how Vitatech Healing is helping others with ADHD, fibromyalgia, autism, and more. Plus, find radio-only savings by clicking the link at radiosavings.com. That's radiosavings.com.
Now, some weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. The Olympics are not the only big thing happening in Paris these days. I mean, they got the Eiffel Tower and all that stuff, but France's first cheese museum opened last month. Actually, it was 2 months ago. It was in June. The Musée des Fromages is billed as an educational and interactive space for discovering France's cheese-making heritage and regions. The Savory Museum, where cheese is made daily, is housed in a 17th century stone building a short walk from Notre Dame Cathedral. Founder Pierre Besson created it to help keep the art of cheese making alive in France. They boast 56 regional varieties made from cow, sheep, and goat milk. So I'm just looking at the look on Heidi's face.
I'm so confused. So do you get to try the cheeses in this place, or you
they
just
make cheese
learn
every day.
about cheese?
You learn about cheese, but they make cheese every day, and then you get to try it as well. So you get to try their cheese.
Okay, I might go if I could try it. It's like a wine tasting.
The look on your face when I read that
I was
story
so confused. I was like, why would you want to go and... I mean, I think that's great.
All right, well, booking a ticket now. Weird news brought to you by WeirdGiftOfTheDay.com. Time now for the list, brought to you by BetterCreditCards.com. Ick, or the ick, is now officially a thing. And by a thing, I mean it's made its way into a Cambridge dictionary. Yes, some Gen Z slang words that made it into this Cambridge dictionary. Boop, popularized by a TV
has been
show.
a word forever.
But now it's in the dictionary.
It wasn't before?
Yeah. So, but somebody said I've been booping way before that show. Face journey, a series of expressions that appear on someone's face showing different emotions they experience as reactions to something. Okay. A chef's kiss, when you put your fingers and thumbs together and kiss them.
Okay.
And pull your hand away, like, mwah, to show.
Okay, yeah.
Speed run is another one on here, and it's a gaming term to compete as quickly as you can through like that level, but you can use it offline as well. So if you're in a hurry, you can say, I'm on a speed run. Side quest, also a gaming term that people are using in real life. And then the last one is IYKYK.
If you know, you know.
Well, there you go. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
Can your IRA or 401k stand up to the next financial crisis by allocating a percentage of your retirement into physical gold and silver with a tax-free rollover? You can diversify and safeguard your holdings from turbulent markets and economic downturns. Safeguard your assets with a tax-free rollover with a Genesis Gold IRA, the only IRA that can hold physical precious metals. Protect your retirement today with a simple phone call and receive your free gold and silver guide. Call 1-800-200-GOLD or visit genesisgoldira.com.
Time now for the quote of the day. It comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com. Our quote today is from Ralph Waldo Emerson. Here's what Ralph had to say. He said, "It is one of the blessings of old friends that you can afford to be stupid with them." End quote. I love that. There are friends that we have where we have to behave because we don't know them as well. And you have to. And there's friends where you can just kind of let your hair down and say dumb stuff. And
I pretty much try to be myself all the time.
Well, I'm always myself, but there are sometimes I'm a more polite version of myself.
Yeah, I don't usually even
I've noticed that. You can't be taken in public. Quote of the day comes your way, courtesy of radiosavings.com.
John and Heidi.
This portion of the John and Heidi Show is brought to you by the John and Heidi Show. That sounds kind of funny, but it's true. Go to your local radio station and ask them to start carrying the John and Heidi Show. Here's the best part. They can carry the show for free. They play a couple commercials, but it doesn't cost them anything every month. So if you know a radio station that could use a little bit of help, send them our way. Send them to johnandheidishow.com. Again, johnandheidishow.com. We would love to do a radio program in your community. Then you could listen to the podcast and listen to us on the radio.
John and Heidi.
We always like to wrap things up around here with good news, and I think this is good news. Comes your way courtesy of GenesisGoldIRA.com. This story comes from Jasper National Park in Canada. 18-year-old woman heroically leads 16 to safety amid a wildfire.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, incredible act of heroism, July 22nd, when an 18-year-old, Colleen Null, a volunteer firefighter, took swift action to evacuate people from a raging fire. Despite being off duty from her summer job, she and her quick thinking skills turned into something that ended up saving 16 people.
Wow.
Very cool. With less than a year of experience at the fire department, her instincts kicked in when she noticed smoke rising from the mountainside. My first indication that there was a fire, I noticed smoke coming up from the mountainside. During my previous training in wildfire, I used some knowledge that I obtained that applied to how to read that smoke in the wind direction and how close it was. Before the official evacuation order was issued, she was already in action, knocking on cabin doors to alert guests at the lodge. Then she realized there was a hiking campground nearby, and she had no way of knowing, and those people had no way to find out about the imminent danger. She walked 5 minutes up a trail and proceeded to evacuate everybody from that area as well, getting them and the rest of the group out. This initiative led to her gathering 16 people for a 4-hour hike
Oh, my gosh.
through the treacherous terrain to get them to safety. So this is just an amazing story. And imagine...
And she wasn't even working.
She wasn't even on duty. She was like, you
That's
know what?
pretty
I'm going to
great.
just do this.
That's pretty great.
So I think that is very, very great. And again, think about, a lot of people, if they were, especially if they weren't even working at the time, they'd be like, whatever. But the good news is, for this young lady, not only is this something that, saved a bunch of lives, because I think that it did, but it also probably isn't going to hurt when it comes time for her to get a promotion there at the old fire department. I'm just saying. All right, time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. Have a great day. Thank you for listening to the John and Heidi Show on a Wednesday.